Welcome to the Fast Mode podcast series. I'm Tara Nil, and with me today is Nigel Hickey, Senior Technical Marketing Manager at NetBrain Technologies. Founded in 2004, NetBrain provides the industry's most advanced no-code network automation platform, enabling network engineers to automate and collaborate on troubleshooting, continuously assess their hybrid network for errant conditions, and protect change operations from inadvertent consequences that would otherwise result in unplanned downtime. NetBrain is in use by more than one-third of the Fortune 500 and is headquartered in Burlington, Massachusetts. Nigel creates in-depth content on network automation, AI ops, and observability, and leads competitive intelligence research, ensuring NetBrain stays ahead in the evolving network automation space. With over 20 years of experience in networking, virtualization, and cloud technologies, Nigel works in technical marketing, consulting, and engineering at companies like VMware and Sigma Solutions. Nigel joins us as part of our exclusive editorial segment on generative AI for network management. Welcome, Nigel. Great to have you on today's episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today, Tara. This is great.
Awesome. Okay, so for starters, can you give us an overview of the role of AI in network automation? What capabilities does it bring to traditional automation solutions?
Sure, and that's a great question because I feel that AI really enhances that traditional automation that we've always been used to, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're introducing intelligence, more adaptability, and predictive capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So the traditional automation follows the predefined scripting or workflows, whereas AI-driven automation, we lean on what it learns from and its patterns, and it's able to adapt dynamically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our AI can now detect anomalies in real time, or
Mm-hmm.
even take advantage of some corrective actions that may have been set aside for the anomaly. So if something is impacted, it may be able to change that for us. Predictive analytics is another measure that is helpful for proactive maintenance and helping reduce downtime and improving service quality. Another capability that traditional automation solutions really don't have, where AI driven automation can help policy enforcement as well as compliance for those folks that are looking to keep up with the monitoring and all of the anomalies that come out that need to be addressed. That's really, really great for compliance needs. So think of an example of instead of just automating the configuration for that network device, the AI powered automation can predict failures,
Mm-hmm.
anomalies, anything before it even happens, and
Mm-hmm.
then be able to self correct those network issues.
Mm-hmm. So, when we compare that to the traditional traditional way of doing things. What you're saying that is that if you were to have the same capability when you didn't have AI, does it require you to spell out like lots of rules and extensive coding?
Yeah, because traditional automation follows those fixed workflows,
Mm-hmm.
whereas AI can analyze real time data, learn from it, see even the past incidents, maybe from an ITSM tool, and then dynamically adjust those network settings. Whereas before, that's a human that's doing those things, and or maybe teams of humans that are doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I think we can't talk about AI without talking about generative AI. Where all the craze is right now. So yeah, yeah, just would you like to explain a little bit how generative AI works? Especially in network management, and also there's a huge question we always have. Does having generative AI capabilities simply means that you have an LLM slapped on to your traditional solution, or does it mean more than that?
Another great question, right? Because we see Gen AI in everything now, from the
Mm-hmm.
mainstream media to at work or even at home when we're trying to do things for our personal lives. We're leveraging these chatbots that they're calling them
Yep.
now. So the Gen
Yep.
AI is more than just a chatbot. It can
Mm-hmm.
really play a major role in troubleshooting and proactive network management.
Mm-hmm.
So something like just slapping an LLM or a large language model onto an assistant is fine. That can do the basics. But now, if we can couple that with automation documentation, being able to summarize logs, driving that diagnostics that a human is not able to do quick enough, or maybe teams of humans are doing, like I was saying before. And even the AI can go back historically, right? So it can find those historical fixes based on problems that happened months or years ago, possibly. I would say that instead of engineers just manually sifting through logs, they can rely on these AI models to analyze thousands of incidents and thousands of lines of code or thousands of issues over the years and then get that answered in seconds.
So basically, in many ways, it expedites what would have taken like many man hours and stuff. Does it also open up something completely new? Like, you have a new functionality now that would not have been possible had you not have Gen AI capabilities.
Yeah, I think what we would see with that is more of the automated documentation, automated reports, because some of the tools that are out there with AI can actually take that historical look at your network and then build what we like to call digital twin and then actually give that back to you in a form of documentation. So we that's like a new use case that we have there for creating network documentation from maybe old networks from past employees, and we forgot what they did last year or the years before, and maybe it wasn't documented. I see that as a great use case of figuring out the network and then using that to our advantage to fill those gaps that we may have had in the past.
Awesome. So, looking at NetBrain's own portfolio of solutions, right? What you guys offer for CSPs?
Yes, we have a platform. It's called NetBrain Next Gen, and we're on version R12 now. And that is our AI-driven network automation tool that is used by CSPs to improve efficiency, reduce their downtime, and even enhance troubleshooting, right? So we have CSPs that are managing very highly complex multi-vendor networks that require automation at a very large scale, and it has to be reliable. And also think about that multi-vendor. There's so many vendors out there with different CLIs and different solutions and different setups that have to be known by that network administrator. So NetBrain does have a platform, NetBrain Next Gen, and that's our R12 version that's out today. And CSPs are using that to improve efficiency or enhance troubleshooting, reduce downtime. And as we know, they manage very highly complex and multi-vendor networks where those networks require a lot of scale and a lot of reliability. And also the caveat of having to know every single vendor or every single command line or API that's used. Whereas NetBrain can automate those network diagnostics and help reduce the MTTR or mean time to resolution, which is really important in NetOps. So that also has ability to dynamically map and then visualize the network topology so they can actually see that in real time. And it's not just data on the screen, it's actually pathing so they can follow that in a large environment and be able to troubleshoot and pinpoint better. So we really enable that proactive maintenance and detecting those potential failures before they happen and enabling those environments to be able to leverage that AI driven network platform and get better service quality and less degradation.
So does that mean that you guys will be dealing with lots and lots of data? If yes, like how do you manage it with the kind of computing overheads that you have to bear, or is that borne by the CSPs themselves?
Well, some of that's by the CSPs themselves, but within our tool, the database is within our NetBrain NextGen application. So it's managed that way, and it's not able to go outside of the application. So it's not like you could use something like a chat GPT and ask it other questions. It's just mainly built into our software, right? So I could still come to the software and say, can you tell me what's going on in the network in Boston today? And it will come up and it will scan through and give me a real world answer. So it kind of helps educate lower level. We call that shifting left, right? Giving that to our junior administrators to be able to manage those high priority tickets. So that's really something that is a great piece of the network automation tool that we have.
So say if a CSP is interested, to deploy, your AI solution, where do they start? Do they have to do all the what do you call? They have to start accumulating lots of data on their end before this can be enabled in their systems.
This is enabled during the installation. Different levels of installation will allow different features to be turned on and that AI feature to be enabled. But there's
Mm-hmm.
not work that the customer has to do. They're not taking on the training of the AI, if that's what you're meaning. It's
Mm-hmm.
more that we are scanning that network. We're able to create that digital twin. So we have almost like a doppelganger of their network. And we're able
Mm-hmm.
to use that to be able to get the information out of it without actually touching live production. And then
All
that's
right.
used and that data is captured to be able to use with the AI bot that we have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, CSPs will just provide some form of filtered data, and then the training takes place, on your end. Is that how it works?
More or less, yes. And it's able to take that data from that digital twin, see what's
Mm-hmm.
in the network, and that's the first step. The second step would be intent-based networking, where they're having an intent and they're saying they want something to happen, and they're
Yep.
building that intent automation behind that. So then the AI bot understands I need to go look at these, golden rules and match that
Mm-hmm.
up against my intentions and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of challenges do you foresee, or you are already encountering in doing that? This is something new, right? So, is there a lot of training that's needed? And then, I know, what about the data quality? Are you getting sufficient data, and can you rely on those data sets? Do you face this kind of issues?
I think I can speak for the industry as a broad. I can't really speak to engineering. I'm on more of the marketing side, so I would say that I hadn't experienced that directly. But I will say
Mm-hmm.
you are absolutely correct, Tara, where AI is only as good as the data that it learns from.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if we are inconsistent or if we're incomplete or if that data is hard to get a hold of, the automation may be difficult to make happen, or the network may have so much data that
Mm-hmm.
if it's not structured, or maybe it's ancient, it's very
Mm-hmm.
old, they
Mm-hmm.
can even struggle to give us accurate insights. But those are
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that come up when these systems are installed, and we're able to see that digital twin. We can help customers see that unstructured data and help with that. But also to your point, many enterprises still rely on legacy infrastructure. Right. So maybe they don't have the systems capable to even support simple APIs or modern telemetry. So that
Mm-hmm.
makes it harder to integrate with customers as well, that it's older. And then there's also the adoption, right? Do we trust it? Is it, something that's pushed back within internals? Is the customer maybe someone in the federal or the government that's air gapped? So
Mm-hmm.
there's different situations that kind of get in the way. I think that's really a challenge across the industry for anything that's AI powered. We want
Yep.
that. We want the scalability. We want it to help us bring down costs, but we have to think logically that data is good if it goes in, but if it's garbage in, garbage out kind of situation.
Yep, exactly, exactly. So, do you see a lot more vendors in this space introducing Gen AI capabilities? Or would it just be a fad for a while? What do you predict?
I think definitely it's not going to be a fad. I would like to say that out loud and proud. I think in 24 we saw a lot of maybe fads or people dipping their toes in the water and trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what Gen AI was, if
Mm-hmm.
that was personal use or if that was corporate use,
Mm-hmm.
and then starting to see companies push back where they have security policies where they can't use that. The next stage could be even leveraging AI for GDPR and compliance challenges
Mm-hmm.
that are really hard to get a hold
Yep.
of, right? We're hard
Mm-hmm.
to find teams to make that happen, and being able to do that on your own is very complex. So I see using automation in the future to help with these anomalies and help with these compliance challenges before government agencies have to knock on doors and see if we're done with it yet and have we
Mm-hmm.
complied properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as we go into 25 and we see
Mm-hmm.
other companies bringing AI to the table, it could just be a chatbot. It may be something that converts a chat into a nice network map. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
something that just detects an anomaly and alerts the person to say, "Oh, I'm sure you didn't know about this because it was so far away from where
Yeah.
you're standing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can help you." So I really see companies jumping on it after testing last year and
Mm-hmm.
feeling that this year is going to be more mature AI within applications, and we'll start to see the players arise from that, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have some major deployments in the pipeline for this year?
Yeah, we have a lot in the pipeline, lots of good stuff between different industries, if it's airline or telco or banking. We have a lot of big players out there, and we're really excited because it gives us an opportunity to step into some realms that we haven't before. Because let's face it, everybody has a network. It doesn't matter if it's the fire department, it doesn't matter
Yep.
if it's the school or if it's the office. Everybody needs something that's structured and works well, and it fits in any industry. So I think that coupled with what people want to automate and making things easier by leveraging Gen AI, I think we're going to see some really great advancements in 2025.
Amazing. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the session. I mean, you shared really great insights, Nigel, and we thank you for your time today for explaining all these concepts and also what NetBrain is doing in this space. So thank you.
Thank you, Tara. It's been a pleasure to be on the show, and I appreciate the time with you this evening.
All right, awesome. And to everyone tuning in, thank you guys for listening. If you want to learn more, visit www.netbraintech.com and follow us for more updates and insights as we continue to uncover the latest in technology and telecommunications. See you in our next session. Bye.
Thank you.